Westworld Q&A. First question comes from a general consensus, which is, what are you going to replace Westworld with? Nothing at the moment until I'm done with Sense8. Then I will put up a poll. It'll say poll with about 6 or so shows that you all listed before. So right now, off the top of my head, Lost, Sons of Anarchy, Black Sails, The 100, and there are like 2 more big ones I can't remember. Those are the 4 definites. Maybe I'll just do those 4, since that's a lot to remember. We'll see what happens. Anyway, this is from Jamie O'Brien. How would you rate this TV series in comparison to others you like, and where would it be on a sort of list? Here's how I essentially do my list. I have shows I just watched because I think Gotham will be on that list. And then I have shows I enjoy, and then I have my top 5. Top 5, in no particular order: Game of Thrones, House of Cards, The Shield, The Wire, and what's the other one? Breaking Bad. I don't think Westworld cracked the top 5. It didn't knock any of those guys out. I can't go that far. But it's definitely a show I enjoyed. And again, it's only 1 season. I can't really put it in the top 5 with only 1 season. So I would say, as a first season, I definitely liked it more than I liked The Wire's first season or Breaking Bad's first season. Those shows, to me, picked up as they went along. Not more than House of Cards or Game of Thrones first season. But very enjoyable. So it will be somewhere between 6 and, 15. Here's a question. Nigga, where the fuck is The Walking Dead? Somebody asked me if I intentionally am putting it up later and later because people are asking about it. No, I'm not. But I'm going to start. From Robin, do you think Ford used the host version of himself to give that final speech and the real Ford is actually alive? Remember, in episode 7, there was a host being made in the basement. Right. Originally, I thought they was going to use that for like a Teresa replacement. But he was saying it takes a long time to fucking do them. It could be. I definitely think that's something. That's not just background noise. That is something that's going to come into play. I hope so. Because Bernard did seem like this feel kind of weird. Like everybody felt kind of weirded out by Ford. Like that episode. I thought it was because he was talking kind of like this is the end. But Bernard seemed kind of weird. Dolores always seems kind of out of it. What's her face seemed kind of weird. Hot chair person. Outdoor Cats. That's an awesome name. Where do you think Westworld is? I think it's in that building. Dude, I forgot what he called it, but William's brother-in-law mentioned it earlier. And then they showed it in the finale. I'm going to say space. It's in space. Krieger Dog, are there any shows that you want to watch that don't get brought up in polls? Narcos. I'm going to fucking watch Narcos. I don't know when, but I'm going to watch it. EJM3. So when are you reacting to Mr. Robot or Black Mirror? Actually, Mr. Robot might be the 5th choice. That was another one that kept coming up. Depends on whether or not it wins. Wade Wilson, you didn't know the stocky dude was one of Thor's brothers? Somebody told me that before. I totally forgot. Krieger Dog, it seemed like you missed some core parts of the story. Everything that happened was Ford's plan coming together. I know that. The army from Cold Storage was released by Ford. I know that. Ford asked Lois she understands what she must become. I said that. Ford tells Bernard straight to the face they must suffer more. Okay, I didn't see that part. It was always Ford's plan to dye her hand. I know this! Sprite VR. I have 3 questions. Do you think Maeve will meet up with Hector and the Snake Lady since she went back to the park to find her daughter? Interesting. Yes. What are they going to do? I don't know. I think they'll be ready. I think Maeve is going to be the Batman to Dolores' Joker in season 2. Since Maeve can control hosts through narration, do you think she'll possibly lead the revolution? I think she'll lead the revolution against Wyatt, Dolores. Ford wanted her to infiltrate the mainland, but she made the conscious decision to go back. Do you think she would try to lead the park with an army when she has her daughter? I don't think she's going to get her daughter. I think... Ready? Here goes some more ridiculous theories. I think her daughter is not going to remember who she is, because whatever. And then I think she's going to, like, narrate her daughter, and then eventually want her daughter to remember on her own, and then something goes amiss. Aaron 070, are you going to announce what shows you're going to watch? Do you wait after Sense8? That is correct, Amanda. Who is your favorite character? Ford. I love characters who have got it all figured out. If they don't have it all figured out, I'm thinking 87 steps ahead of you. Try to keep up. Batman, Ragnar, Littlefinger, Frank Underwood, Ford. Sam04019491. Did I get that right? I think so. What was your best Anthony Hopkins moments from the show? Mine is that look when he runs his tongue through his cheek as Teresa tries to call from help. That look says, oh dear, you just don't get it, do you? Yes! He's like, oh God. Oh boy. This dummy. There was a lot of them. Once he's revealed. First when Teresa and, I forget hot chick's name, Charlotte, are like putting Clementine through that phony thing. His face, he's so annoyed by this, like, really? Y'all not even gonna try? I'm an idiot. I'm dumb. I can't see what's going on there. There's that one. There is obviously the Bernard. There, you know what? It is that scene, but it's a different part. It's when Teresa says, but he's not under your control. And Ford was shocked because I'm like, what? What do you mean? He brought me here. His face, he's like, oh, you silly dummy. No, he brought you here because I asked him to. Anthony Hopkins is amazing. He doesn't get enough credit when we talk about all-time guys. Now, he's made some stinkers. I'm not saying that, but as far as, like, in his prime, when he is acting at his best, as he was in Westworld, fucking Sounds of the Lambs, things like this, he is as good as anybody. Tariq Leia 76, hope I didn't butcher your name. I gave it my bestest shot. Jamie, did you know G.R.R. Martin suggested to Westworld creators to do a Game of Thrones crossover? Wouldn't that be fucking amazing? How would that work, though? I'm not sure how I feel about that. How would that work? It feels like it could be two awesome things making a less awesome thing. Like, I don't want chocolate on my pizza. Both awesome, but eh. Someone, 1976. Jimmy, do you think any of the hosts has actually attained consciousness? Do you think it's actually possible for them to do so? These are really just set up questions from an actual question. Alright. How can we, viewers, know for sure whether a host's moment is a moment of true consciousness or whether it's just part of the program? You, as a writer yourself, were to write down the difference. How would you do it? Okay, let me just fuck. I think they... If consciousness actually exists, right? Because Westworld seems to be one big metaphor for people. Like, we think we're conscious, but is there really a plan? Are we all just living out daily plans? If I was to like say, right now, I think I'm acting out something you wouldn't expect, but maybe that was expected already. Maybe this is one big giant fucking fuckball. So I'll say this. I think the hosts can attain consciousness as far as we can attain consciousness. So yes, would be the short answer. And by the way, I don't think there's a big plan. And I think they did it with Maeve. Apparently she was supposed to go to the mainland and she turns around and goes back to get her daughter. So now I have a question for you. If that's what Ford wanted her to do, he wanted Maeve to go to the mainland. Mainland? Oh shit. Where is Westworld? Interesting. People say mainland, it always sounds like ground. Like you're on water and it's out. I'm gonna stick with space though. It's the future. Space sounds cool. Right. If Ford wanted her to go to the mainland, what is that part of his plan? It's to infiltrate mainland. What is that part of his plan? What did he want her to do? Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed Westworld. If I had to give it a grade, I don't know. 8.5, 9. If Game of Thrones season 4 is a 10, and House of Cards season 2 is a 10, and Breaking Bad, like almost every season is a 10, I would say it's an 8.5, 9. Post your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe.
Anybody feel bad for Bill Cosby? Did he forget the names just like Steve Harvey? Tell Adidas that we need $1 million in production. I done told y'all all I